Matt Serletic. Is there a Calabas conspiracy at this event, Matt?
I think so. Us and Incubus, and a whole bunch of other people. So glad to be here, guys.
Matt Serletic, Hungarian name, from Calabasas in Southern California. Matt, no need to introduce you to this audience. You're one of the most distinguished figures in the music business. In a minute, tell me what you've been up to in the last 15 years.
Sure. Wow, time myself. I grew up in the music business. I was fortunate to start very early. I've been able to make records as a songwriter, record producer, and label owner for the last 20 years, including Matchbox 20, Rob Thomas, Aerosmith, Carlos Santana, on and on. And was the youngest ever chairman and CEO of a major label when I ran Virgin Records when I was about 32. So did that in New York. Also have now started Emblem Music Group, which has Matchbox 20 and Rob Thomas, as well as management clients, Tyler Hilton, new artist Gloriana, and a bunch of others on the label. And then also am here at TechCrunch specifically for a company called Music Mastermind, which I formed about 3 years ago with my co-founder. That's all about revolutionizing the way that people interact with music. So we're excited to be here.
So Matt, I thought you were one of these old-style limo driving or limo traveling music executives who died out in the old Ice Age.
Yeah, exactly right. In all my glory, I showed up here today in a moped, so we're doing better.
So what happened to the limo?
No. I've been fortunate enough to have a career in music that never started with a silver spoon. Started in a band called Collective Soul years and years ago, and we were sleeping on a floor that was a lot dirtier than this, trying to make it. And that's the old dream of the music industry that's still alive today, that anybody can make it. And I think at Music Mastermind, we're here to prove that anybody can make it.
So what did you learn from sleeping on I can't ever imagine a floor that is dirtier than this one.
Believe it.
Sleeping on these dirty floors as an old style record executive, what did that teach you, both in terms of your two current gigs, Emblem Music Group and Music Mastermind? What did you learn?
I think, artist time-honored tradition is that you really have to pay your dues. There still is dues paying, and technology allows a new way forward, but there's still dues to be paid. They're just different dues. And I think a lot of our problems in the business has come from not realizing that the dues paying has changed. People are still trying to pay the old dues, both trying to get in and trying to make money and survive as a business, when it's shifted, and technology has provided that shift.
So what are these new dues? D-U-E-S.
Yeah. The reality is, it goes back to kind of the theme here of connecting with an audience. There's new ways to connect to an audience. It's important that technology allows that to happen, and that smart people, artist managers, label owners, etc., figure out ways to make that lasting, make it both intimate and significant.
In terms of this new intimacy economy or experiential economy, what are you doing, particularly at Music Mastermind, that is helping artists monetize their creativity and allowing audience new experiences in terms of their relationships with the artists?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're all about. And we're launching later this year, so it's kind of under wraps now. This represents one of the first times we've spoken about this publicly. But Music Mastermind was formed 3 years ago to create fun and easy ways for everyone to make music. So we've invented what technology is called Sound Better, several patent-pending technologies that allow literally somebody here in the audience to have a musical idea and see it not only just to a little bit of fruition, but all the way through to where it's a fully realized record that has quality and value and is based on the user's creativity and allows them to share it with the world pretty instantly, pretty significantly around in an organization, a platform that reaches globally eventually.
And this is an angel-backed enterprise, a venture capital-backed one?
It is currently angel, soon to be VC, which we'll be announcing in a couple weeks with some significant partners. We've been fortunate to have some of the best technology partners in the world come and join us here as we go live later this year.
So you can have a startup in Calabasas and still get the angels and the VCs to put money into it?
Yeah, as long as you pay your dues.
By the way, is there anything musical going on when it comes to startups in the Bay Area, or is everything happening in Southern California?
No, there's a lot. I mean, the great thing about tech is that it's everywhere. It could be in Kansas for all we know. I mean, we're currently up to about 50 staff members, and we find them from all over. We certainly hire from here in San Francisco and LA as well, but we found people from Florida. From the great thing is, much like artistry in general, have talent will travel. It's tech pulls down the barriers and allows anybody to play.
Matt, in this experiential economy, is it harder to persuade the artist or the audience to understand the new rules of the game?
Well, I think the audience starts pushing the envelope way before the artist does, with some significant exceptions. But generally, the artists are trying to get their craft together, while the audience is trying to get their entertainment together. So somewhere in between the entertainment and the craft of music making is a new frontier, and that's what this conference is about, and what Music Mastermind is about.
Do you agree with that troublemaker Evan Lowenstein, that elitist, who argues that as an artist, it's our responsibility to know what the fans want better than they do?
I think leadership comes from all angles. And what's great about the tech space is you have tech leaders, you have music leaders, you have business leaders, all coming together to make the new rules. And I don't think anybody has all the answers. We certainly don't feel we have all the answers. We're kind of finding new ways to get people as diverse as great artist A with management company B with record label C to that consumer that's sitting in the proverbial Kansas trying to find their way. So it's a new frontier. Everybody has their own point of view, and it's a great time to be involved with music.
What's the future of audience? In 50 years, will there even be a term we use to describe audience, or will it break up and become sort of a series of new hierarchies with elites and followers?
Oh, I think there's still always an audience in the sense that some people ultimately are more creative and can connect more successfully with other people than the people that receive that connection. So I think there will always be need for great talent, be it a great voice, be it a great songwriting talent, record making, etc. There's always need for talented people, and there will be an audience for talent.
There's going to be people, perhaps in this audience, certainly on TechCrunch, who are talented. Everyone thinks they're talented. Some people really are.
Well said.
For the kid with a guitar, writing a song, singing a song, what should they do? How should they develop their career in this new economy? Apart from calling you, of course.
Of course. Just call me. That's all you need. No, the
in
reality.
Your limousine.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
your moped, right?
My moped limousine. No, I think we have all these new tools. I mean, there's a lot of tools represented here at the conference. The idea of picking the tools that you can use, just like a guitar might be your tool. You're a great songwriter, and that's your tool. You don't know how to use a drum machine. That's somebody else's tool. If you're great at Twitter, use that as a way to communicate and build a fan base. So I think it's technology has built over the millennia new instruments and new ways for people to make music and connect with music. These are just new instruments for us to connect and communicate.
Is Twitter a more powerful tool than any guitar?
Not in the person that can't sing's hands. You know, it still comes down to raw talent. You've still got to have some modicum of real human talent, ability to create emotion in the listener.
And in the future, for the kid with talent who is shy or simply disdainful of self-promotion, who can't stand the idea of telling the world how good, how smart, how brilliant they are, can these people still survive, or will they have to learn to be show-offs?
You know, it's a great question, and I think most of them will have to learn to connect with an audience. You know, not necessarily show off, but connect. There are a few that are so talented that they might find a manager or a label or all of the above to help them connect and do some of that work for them. There's certainly that goes on now in the music industry. So I think that's a majorly shifting balance. It used to be you could be a shoegazer and be brilliant, and that's all it took. Now it's changed, and the balance is very much more for the people that can connect to audience directly. People want that connection and yearn for it. But there are still some mysterious strangers out there that are just so talented. We want to know more about them.
In the future, is there any A&L?
Sorry?
Whoops, Freudian error. A&R. In the future, is there any A&R?
Yeah, there's always A&R. There's crowdsourced A&R. There's specific A&R. You know, there's still collections of music that need to be focused. Let's say a movie soundtrack. You know, we couldn't crowdsource the movie soundtrack, although there's probably some people here that tell me they can. But the reality is there is need for guidance and focus with music, just like there is with any other business. And some people have that skill, and they'll learn to survive in the future.
Matt, pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.